All right, we'll do a little practice quiz to review everything. Start with the spinal cord. I'll give you kind of 5 seconds. I'll point to it and you name it, and then I'll give you the answer. So this right here, this round bulb. Dorsal root ganglion, yes. And this is the dorsal ramus and the ventral ramus. This one over here that I'm touching, that one's the ventral ramus. This is the dorsal ramus, as I said. How about what's this kind of deep space here, a very big indentation? The ventral median fissure, yes. How about on this side, what is this kind of part right here? So you can see there's kind of layers, right? There's many of these, there's not just one. So right here, where this kind of Y comes together, that's the spinal nerve, yes. All right, what is this little extension going out here? This kind of gray part that goes out. Lateral horn, and you don't often see it. What's this extension that goes up, that gray? That's the dorsal horn. And then the ventral horn's down here. What's the name of this whole area of white matter up here on the top here? So kind of coming this part and then this part. That is the dorsal funiculus. And then you have lateral funiculus and ventral funiculus down here. All right, what's this called? This part here. The dorsal root, yes, the dorsal root. And this is the ventral root. Then what is this kind of little indentation where the ventral root, there's like a little bit of a indentation right here where the ventral root attaches? Ventrolateral sulcus. All right, let's move on to the brain. And we'll look at some parts of the brain. What is this kind of tree-like here, this tree structure? You can see all these little branches coming out. That's the arbor vitae of the cerebellum. What is this kind of round bulbous area right here? You kind of see this big round area. That is the pons. What is this? So this whole thing, that's kind of a, I don't know what, not quite a C shape. Oh, that's a good way to remember it. So it's kind of shaped a little bit like a C. It's the corpus callosum. What is the front part of it called? This part. The genu, G-E-N-U of the corpus callosum, and the back part is the splenium. What is this white underneath? There's kind of this white area right here. That is the fornix. What is this space here that's underneath the cerebellum, kind of a triangular space? That is the fourth ventricle. What is the bottom part here of the brain, kind of the lower stem of the brain? That's the medulla oblongata, or the medulla, same thing down here. All right. What is this whole structure and on the other side? Cerebellum. And then what's the midline of the cerebellum called? Kind of, there's actually a structure that looks kind of more like this. It's thick, it's thicker. The vermis, V-E-R-M-I-S, yes. What is this whole orange gyrus here? Oh, there's something I wanted to add anyway. Yes, this is the cingulate gyrus. The cingulate sulcus goes on top. And what I didn't mention was that this, so you see other cortex here, like this is the frontal cortex continued on the inside. So the frontal cortex goes on to the inside up to here. And then this is parietal cortex here. And then this is a little bit of temporal cortex. So the cortex that we talked about on the outside also comes medially. All right, what is, let's see if we can get close. This little circle right here, that little circle is the posterior commissure. And then this more orange structure here, that's a little bit of a bigger kind of sac-looking structure, that is the pineal gland or the pineal body. Here you can see pretty well. There's 2 bumps here, 1 and 2, and 1 is superior colliculus, and 2 is the inferior colliculus. All right, this is this line that comes all the way down here. This is the Sylvian fissure or the Sylvian aqueduct that goes down. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to ask you. I'll pull up this brain now. Oh, this one. Okay, we'll do this one. What's this middle structure here? There's kind of an oval egg structure. That's the thalamus, yes. What's this tan kind of? There's a very thin structure here. This tan structure between the fornix and the corpus callosum. That's the septum pellucidum. All right, we've hit a lot of things. I think you can see another structure here, maybe. Right here, well, you can't see it very well here. I'm touching it now. There's a little white circular bump right there. That is, so you can kind of see right there, that is the mammillary body. Let's see if I can show it better on this one. No, this is not going to be really any better. All right, what is this? I don't think you have to know this, but this is the pituitary gland that I'm kind of moving away. And then what's this kind of structure coming up above it, this part? And there's one on the other side that comes the same way. That's the optic chiasm. It's really the optic nerve coming out to the optic nerve, and where the X is that the other one kind of crosses, that's the optic chiasm. Okay, we've covered a lot. Oh, these, so we had the medulla, we had the pons, and then there's this part here, kind of it's like the hood of the pons. It's kind of coming back up. That's the cerebral peduncles. All right, cerebral peduncles. It's kind of attaching the brainstem up to the rest of the brain. All right, that's pretty good. See if there's anything we haven't hit yet. We've done most of it. All right. We didn't do the outside, the cerebral hemispheres. So what's this suture or kind of indentation that's coming between the 2 hemispheres? That's the longitudinal fissure. What's the cortex that goes all the way up to here, this part? That's the frontal cortex. What's this cortex here? Temporal cortex. This yellow and green on both sides. Occipital cortex. The purple and blue. And maybe a little bit here too. Parietal cortex, yeah. And what's this area called? The motor area. What's the name of the bump that the motor area is on? It's the precentral gyrus. And what's the name of this indentation right here between the red and the purple? That's the central sulcus. All right, that's pretty good.